So to start out with, I'll put this about halfway in, right up there close, and you give it a little tweak, bend it over some, and just made a little bitty hook, if you can focus in on that. Can you focus in?
Yeah.
Okay. So from there, I'll take the bigger pliers here, and I'm going to bend that little hook in until it's kind of flat against everything else. Now that everybody's watching, it's going to be harder to do.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Actually, lots of pressure.
Somebody quick pull up David Bowie and Queen. That was kind of like he's a dead joke.
And do it again.
You said that Freddie Mercury was dead. Yeah, like pull him up out of the ground. I don't know why.
He's been
That's
dead
where
for
where he went.
decades.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I got it bent over a little bit more here.
There's nothing left.
Okay, so you can see I got it bent in real close. Just a small little glob on the end is what it looks like. Now from that, you can give it another little bit of a tweak. And it's just a consistent, if everybody can see. And what I'll do is squeeze that straight down so it just kind of rolls. So each time you're doing it, you're going to give it another like a 90-degree turn. Let me make sure I got that back flat. And what's going to happen is sometimes it'll start wanting to have a little bit of gap, and you'll have to turn the angle of the wire so that it will collapse as close as it possibly can onto itself. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do. It's just, you got to take your time. Once you've got a full wrap, then it's real easy. You just take it and grab the spiral with the edge of the jaws, like that, and pull a little tension on it, pull it tight. Can't focus. And I make sure I keep a little tension on it the whole time I'm doing it. So as you can see, it starts forming a spiral like that. And that's just from working it cold with a little tension on it. And again, you just grabbing the spiral and just do it a little bit each time. And if you pull too hard, what'll happen is you'll pull the wire crooked and it'll go off to the side like that. So you don't want to do that. You gotta make sure you keep the wire straight in line with the rest of the spiral. And gonna give it a little flat squish each time there. Eventually you get it to the size you want, and let's see, which way do I want to go? That way.
So it's kind of like taking a strip of paper and rolling it back onto itself.
Yeah. See, now I've got it bent around there a couple of times, and I'm going to straighten it back out because it undid a little bit, so you can't really see this. This is magic. Because it's a thin wire, it will bend and move around. I got that bent over. Grab my little pair of snips. Snip off what you got there. Bend the rest around. Now, trick is, grab the spiral right there, so you only have that sticking out. You're holding the spiral all flat to itself. Holding the little eye you made on the end, give it a 90-degree twist, and viola, it's ready to hang. See, wasn't that easy? Now, with the double ones, what you want to do, you figure out how much wire you used on that, and then you will double it. And instead of making that little curlicue, you can you start off and just do each end like I was showing y'all, and then make the curlicue at the end like that. The other way to do it, you can not, if you're not sure how much you're going to use, start off with like a 5-inch piece of wire and start curling them up. Figure out how big you want that little spiral to be, then measure it again. Okay, and you'll say, okay, well, it looks like I used up 2 1/4 inches. Okay, so you're going to need 2 1/4 inches for the other part too. And that leaves you a 1/2 inch. You know, you're not going to need a whole 1/2 inch for that little spiral part, so snip a little more off. So I can't remember the exact measurement that I used. So start here. There's 1, 2. Seems like it was 2 1/4, but that may have been on the bigger ones. 2 1/4, and 1, 2. We'll call it, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4, 4 1/2. We're going to use 4 3/4 inches. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/3. So that'd be about right there. So, if I measured it out about right, I should make my first spiral to the size I want, and I should have a little over 2 1/4 left. Okay, once you got it out like that, when you start to curl it, make sure you start it off in the correct direction. If you don't, you can bend it around the other way, but you always stand the chance that it might break the wire. So I try not to do that. That's pretty much it. Oops. Oh, do I need to grab it? Ta-da!